economic development in India has slowed. The first 3 months of this year, our GDP annual growth rate is less than 5%. I don't think anyone in this room or anyone in the country is satisfied with that. We know that's not a number that India aspires to grow to. And that's something that we all have to figure out how to fix. The amazing thing about India is that we have a massive asset. Our asset is our youth. The volume of our youth is absolutely the most important thing that we can take care of. And if we have a highly educated, a highly trained, and trained in a relevant set of skills that's required to compete on the world stage, we will be successful as a country. And we will be able to move that GDP growth back up to its traditional levels, 8, 9%. And it was very interesting, at least for me, to spend time traveling around and speaking to many people. I speak to a lot of our partners. We have a lot of big partners in the country, folks like, and all the system integrators many of you will be familiar with, like Infosys, Wipro, HCL, many of our partners. We have about 20,000 partners in India. And they gave us some very similar feedback. And I think Mr. Patil just mentioned that exactly. That it's very difficult for them to find highly skilled workers, employees, straight out of their degrees. And that they have to spend time in training them to actually be able to be useful to those enterprises. And that was consistent from many of our partners, whether they be partners that work on a global scale or partners that work regionally here in Mumbai or in Maharashtra. Then, in my travels, I also spent some time speaking to schools and to students. And it was very clear that there was a very similar kind of things there. What was the desire for the students? The students were very simple. They said, I just want a great job when I finish my studies. And I want to be paid a good wage. And that seemed a relatively obvious outcome. And for the universities and the colleges, the desire was also very similar. Saying, I just want to make sure that my students are successful, that they're all employed at graduation, that they find their jobs that will make their dreams come true. And that would be a very healthy ecosystem. And I think all of the reports that we go across is that we're far from that reality, or we're far from that dream. And so when we examined this, we said, hey, from a Microsoft point of view, we have a unique opportunity to bring together a whole bunch of different assets and put together a program that will align all of the objectives for those 3 groups. We help students to become better from an employability standpoint so that they'll be more successful in getting the jobs that they want. We help the universities establish a program that they can then run in order to make sure those students are then successful as they graduate. And we can help those employers hire much more qualified students so their costs go down in terms of training, and that those people that they hire are as productive as possible out day one. And so that's what we've done. That's the Ed-vantage program. It puts a variety of things together that makes it much more impactful for all 3 of those stakeholders to be successful in terms of what they want to do. And the one thing I will sort of add, I refer to our partners, and many of our partners are technology partners, but the skills from a technology point of view aren't just limited to companies in IT. Technology is prevalent everywhere. It's prevalent in retail, it's prevalent in manufacturing, it's prevalent in financial services, it's prevalent in all sorts of different industries. And we certainly believe that there's 4 fundamental things that from a Microsoft perspective are key skills that drive employability in all those industries. And so for us to partner with a school like Viva is important because they also generate graduates who are going into many, many different industries, not just engineering and IT. And so by putting that all together, we had to make sure that we also made the bar very high. There is no magic wand. This is not a program that overnight solves the problem. And so when we designed this, we were very clear that it required a commitment from the university or college. And it required a consistent and deep commitment from the student who was going to go through the program. If those 2 things weren't understood at the beginning of entrance to this program, then we knew we would be unsuccessful. But you need a commitment from both to make it happen. So what I'm glad to say is that from a Microsoft perspective, we put the commitment in place. We are here to absolutely change those outcomes for those students and those ability to actually drive employability. What's wonderful is now we can find great colleges across the country that want to take that path with us, that will be willing to have the same level of commitment as we do, and then drive it forward. And so I think it's wonderful that Viva has decided to engage with us in this. It's wonderful for me to be able to participate in announcing our first platinum college in the state of Maharashtra, and really be able to inaugurate that as the school takes down the path of helping to drive employability and helping to drive better outcomes for the students. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm Raj Kakari. I just want to quickly add on top of what Sanket said. As part of this Ed-vantage platinum arrangement with Viva, there are two specific things that we work and do with the institution and the group. One is in the next few weeks, we set up a Microsoft Innovation Center on the college campus, which actually helps all the students to get access to latest Microsoft software on the college. We typically provide that as we release them in the market. In some scenarios, we give them way ahead of the market so that the students get to work on these technologies and do some applications and utilization of that technology in a way which could be fairly new, innovative, and it allows them and prepares them better for the market. I'll give you a simple example. We release Windows Phone in the market, right? 3 to 4 months before we release the Windows Phone out in the commercial market, it gets released in these colleges for students to work with the necessary tools on what does it take for them to write applications on that phone, and hence be more ready for the market and for the market. Right? So that whole process of continuous learning and innovation is there in the college with Microsoft. So that's the Microsoft Innovation Center, which should be out in the next few weeks in the college campus. And that's the first actually for all of Bombay area, and it's the second of all of Maharashtra, which is going to be there in Viva. The second thing which we are working with them is as they get the students to go through the necessary learning path and they become certified on Microsoft technologies, we also help Viva to nominate those names to Microsoft so we can take those students to our customers and partners and facilitate them for job opportunities. Right? So on one side, the students get to learn the latest through what we provide. On the other side, we also actually handhold them and facilitate the process of getting them introduced to the corporate recruiting organizations who are interested in that talent. And if we can do this in a very consistent manner, it becomes the largest opportunity for the students in that group of institutions, which becomes a very special support for them and gets them towards the process of employability faster in a more relevant manner. So that's from my side. If there are any questions, we can open up and take it.
My question is from Mr. Sandeep. That is, what do you think, sir, what are the high-end advantages, or maybe to what extent do you think is this model beneficial for students